The wait is definitely over. I'm telling you, we've got great news to bring to you. However, there's a lot that has definitely been happening about the Declan Rice transfer. And I must say, a lot is happening. And is it a done deal? Is it not yet? If you're interested, just make it a point, subscribe, and ring that notification bell so that you do not miss out on what we've got to bring to you right about here at the United chapter. So let us know what definitely is going on with Declan Rice.
So, as a concern, relying on the Fabrizio Romano inside, the deal is 99% is done. So he's moving to Arsenal for 100 and plus £5 million.
105. Yeah, you remember that was 100 million, 105.
Yeah.
That it was 100 fixed and then 5 for add-ons.
Yeah.
But looking at this transfer, why did Manchester City get in this transfer?
Well, because as you know, many midfielders are leaving from the Manchester. Gundogan already gone.
Yeah.
Okay, he's attacking midfielder. He's all rounder. He can play everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
So there's uncertainty about Bernardo Silva as well. As we can see, Calvin Phillips didn't fit in the Pep's system.
Yeah.
So and Manchester
this because it looks like, by the look of things, Manchester City raised the price quite high.
Exactly. It can be. We never know. It might be like games, just to make the competent life is harder, which is the Arsenal. So they made the price up, and they just pull out their legs from the deal. So we never know. But the same thing happened when it was the Cucurella was moving to the Chelsea, when they has moved to Chelsea.
Yeah.
City, Brighton asked for 65. They just dropped the deal. Same happened with the Koulibaly. Same happened with the Fred, Alexis Sanchez. So the City, not all the time goes till the end. So,
but you'll be remembered still that at first, what definitely happened at first, there was quite, it was 80 million at first. Arsenal had the first bid of 80 million.
right.
Then they had another bid. And the second bid was 90 million, wasn't it?
It was, yeah.
Why did even Manchester City think of getting a bid of 90 million? It was really, Arsenal had already put in a bid of 90 million, though add-ons for Manchester City were 15 million and add-ons for Arsenal were something like 10 or 5. I didn't even get the reason as to why. Manchester City could definitely come. Manchester City could come into this transfer. Even though Manchester City has said that they are no longer in this transfer. It's a done deal for the club, Arsenal, isn't it? Right about now, Arsenal are the only football club that are in this transfer. And Arsenal could probably tell West Ham right about now that I'm out. You possibly have to lower your price. I'm out, because Manchester City are not in the game anymore. But Manchester United could definitely be in the game. There is a big possibility that Manchester United could be in this game, isn't it?
Definitely.
Because if you were West Ham,
right,
there is a deal from Manchester United. Deal for Manchester United is Harry Maguire and Scott McTominay. Right. Exchange them for Declan Rice. Would you go for that?
Well, from the West Ham, if I am West Ham manager,
yeah,
or like fan, of course I would like to. I would like to this transfer, because after selling Declan Rice, we need to someone bringing in, right?
Yeah.
So we would have two options. I mean, like, we could put Scott McTominay there. He's defensive midfield as well. He can bring the ball in the final third as well. Also, as we know, Harry Maguire plays in a very low defending line,
Mm.
as he did his best in Leicester.
Mm.
We know when the team plays deep in the defense,
Mm.
as what David Moyes likes in
Mm.
West Ham,
Mm.
I think it would be very suitable transfer for the West Ham,
But
because he's not Ten Hag players. He cannot play intensive. He cannot play the high line. So,
but financial-wise, it doesn't make any sense. Harry Maguire is valued around £40 million or less, 45, 40 million pounds. I don't know how much Scott McTominay would definitely be, but Harry Maguire is around 45 million pounds. And Scott McTominay may be roughly the same or slightly more, slightly less, something like that.
yeah.
And the fact that West Ham came out and they said they needed 120 million pounds. When you add it up, when you add up all this amount of money, for sure it doesn't get anywhere. As a matter of fact, that does not get anywhere. 120 million pounds. You cannot compare it with what Manchester United is offering. Manchester United, I think, is even out of this. That's why it's getting into my mind. I think Manchester United is definitely out of this. Arsenal are the only club that are in this, because the fact that Manchester City has come out and said they are not in this transfer, it's official. Manchester United have dropped. They're not. Manchester City are out of this transfer. Only two parties: Manchester United and Arsenal. And Manchester United's bid is useless. It's definitely useless.
Well, it can be like, it's not all about the money. It can be win-win situation for both clubs. I mean, both United, West Ham and United. But depends on what the West Ham wants.
Yeah.
The first thing, they want to leave Declan Rice, because it's not about the money. It's about what the Declan Rice means for the West Ham. It's not only the positional thing. Also, it's about the locker room. He's the leader. He's the guy who leads the team. He's the spirit of this team. So that's why they will try to get more, as much as possible, and they're not in a rush to sell. That's why they announced the bid auction.
They're not in a hurry to sell. Really, I've never seen a transfer like Declan Rice's transfer. Bayern Munich has been in. He put in a bid of something like 70 million pounds, 60, 70 million pounds, and West Ham was like, "You're joking. There is no way. There's no way whatsoever as to I'm not gonna take that amount of money. 70 million pounds." Then Manchester United with its bid, Arsenal with its bid. Chelsea also wanted Declan Rice, but right about now, you will remember that there is a very big possibility, big chance that Arsenal has the football player. It's a deal that is done, sealed, and completed.
Right.
But what I still don't understand is, why was Manchester City playing this? Because from different sources, Manchester City, it was just a game for them. They had no intentions. But the fact that Ilkay Gundogan is out, possibly they need. Is Ilkay Gundogan a defensive midfielder? Isn't he?
Yeah, the last season, actually, he can play in any position in midfield. But when we speak about last season, he played more close to he was attacking midfielder, close to the final third. So it's not the direct. I think they bought Mateo Kovacic from Chelsea.
Yeah.
If you're talking about Ilkay Gundogan position. So I think City wanted Declan Rice to as a maybe first option or backup option for the John Stones where he plays. Because as we know, John Stones is not midfielder. He was being converted only this season. It's not his natural position. So overall, if you compare potentially, Declan Rice, of course, is the stronger defensive midfielder than the Stones, because even it's called defensive, still midfielder requires to promote the ball further down up the line. That's what the Pep likes.
Well, again, looking at the situation that has been at the club, Arsenal, they've been looking at Moises Caicedo, who's a Brighton and Hove football player. He's quite a very good one, very good defensive midfielder. Declan Rice, with some people saying that Arsenal should run away from Declan Rice and go to Moises Caicedo. whom do you think is the realistic signing? Who can bring a direct impact, big impact to the club, Arsenal, between Declan Rice and Moises Caicedo? Moises Caicedo is a very good defensive midfielder and he's being counted for by the club Chelsea. But right about now, he is not yet into signing for the club Chelsea. It's not yet a done deal. He's still available and they're saying he's worth £80 million negotiable. And the fact that it's £80 million negotiable means Arsenal could get him for something around 65 to 70 million pound. 65, even 60 possibly. There is a big possibility. But Arsenal paying 105 million pound. I mean, the last time Arsenal paid such amount of money was Nicolas Pepe, and that was how much was that? 72 million pound for Nicolas Pepe. And now the record is broken. Arsenal has broken its record, bidding record. 105 million pound. Between these two football players, whom do you really think? Whom would you go for?
Well, I still go for the Declan Rice for Arsenal, and I'll tell you why. Let's say they're equal in terms of the football quality they can bring in, right?
Yeah.
In terms of to make direct impact. The Declan Rice transfer shows Arsenal's ambition. You know, if you want to be a big club, if you want to compete with the Man City on the pitch, you have to compete with them also when you make a transfer.
Yeah.
So it shows your ambitions, and it shows that you are ready to be a big club. And the fans is a good sign for the fans because we know Arsenal's reputation not to spending much on the transfers. But nowadays in modern football, you cannot be big club if you don't spend a lot. So I think it's a quite good positive sign for the Arsenal fans.
What happened? What happened with English Premier League table? Arsenal and Manchester City.
Right.
What went wrong?
Yes.
What exactly went wrong? Because Manchester City was down, was in the second position for quite a long period of time. Okay.
Yeah.
Then after some time, then the club Arsenal slopes down. What went wrong? Being beaten by clubs like possibly like Southampton and Bournemouth, something like that. What went wrong at the last minute, and what should not be done so that you can tell us what should not be done so that this coming transfer window, possibly Arsenal can have what should it do so that they can have maybe a chance in the coming season.
Yeah, well, they actually were done very well. So as we know, they had a very good run. I think only problem was the lack of experience of the title race. They never been in title race. They squad all the young players.
Yeah,
that's the key factor. They never been in a title race before. Whilst Man City has 3-4 title races with the Liverpool.
Yeah.
So, and the second reason it was I think lack of the players. I mean the depth of bench. They didn't have two squads. When the Saliba was out or Gabriel was out, even Jesus, they had some troubles. They had to overcome it.
So, Gabriel, do you think depth was one of the big problems at the club?
Yeah, for sure.
Because looking at the football players that were available, definitely they played quite well. They had to put in quite a big fight, but at last, depth, definitely, I think depth was a big problem. At last, they couldn't take it in, could they? Because they had played quite a big number of games and they didn't have that power and strength. And I think if Arsenal strengthen this time round, possibly they could have a go at Manchester City. What do you think?
I think this coming season is going to be more challenging than previous one because you have to remember that now Arsenal has to play in the Champions League as well. So, and there is extra games. So you cannot just put a second squad, B squad there, like it's not Europe League, it's a Champions League. So you need now not only 2-3 good signings. I would say, to be realistic, you need 5-6 signings definitely to compete in both competitions. I mean, to make say quarterfinal in Champions League and be in the race till the last game in the Premier League. So you need 5-6 players more signing. Taking into account that the possible leave of the Thomas Partey to Juventus, you need to keep this in the mind.
And Granit Xhaka.
And Granit Xhaka as well. But I think if it's possible, they should keep Granit Xhaka as well.
You think Granit Xhaka should stay?
Yeah, I think so.
Then how would it work out if they had Granit Xhaka and you cannot sit Granit Xhaka down? If they get Declan Rice, if Arsenal gets Declan Rice and Granit Xhaka, that it would be quite complicated to sit one of them down.
No, I would still start with the Granit Xhaka to be, because look, all of us know the Grealish signing, right?
Yeah.
Over the 100 million, but he was never first 11 in his first season.
Jack Grealish.
Yeah, Jack Grealish in City. He was never been first choice. He was never been in the first 11 in his first season in the City. And we need to take into account the number of games and the injuries. You cannot rely only on Declan Rice. If, let's say, if you sell Granit, who else in the defensive? Who else Arsenal got as a defensive midfielder apart from the Granit Xhaka?
So Granit Xhaka should stay, and Declan Rice should also come.
Of course, because now look, they got Kai Havertz as an attacking midfielder.
Yeah.
Odegaard as attacking midfielder. So it's complete. So you need more concern on the defense now.
Yeah. That would be. I think it would
but,
be.
Sorry for interruption.
Yeah.
One idea I have. I mean, as we know, Alex Zinchenko, his actual position is the midfield, because he plays for Ukraine, not as a fullback. He plays exactly like Declan Rice and Granit Xhaka's position. So anytime he can be as a backup plan.
Alexander Zinchenko.
Right.
But he's a very good one. He came from Manchester City, didn't he?
Yes.
Came from Manchester City, went to Arsenal, and he's definitely been playing quite well for Arsenal. There was a big possibility of a double swoop from Arsenal, but Arsenal lost out on Ilkay Gundogan, didn't they? Arsenal wanted Ilkay Gundogan and also wanted Joao Cancelo. Arsenal wanted Joao Cancelo and Ilkay Gundogan. Just make a good deal like they made last time. The last time it was to Gabriel Jesus and Alexander Zinchenko. This time they wanted again 2 football players from Man City. But by the look of things, is Joao Cancelo still available?
I think so. Definitely, as we can see now, Pep does need him. Let's be honest. Pep does need him, and he needs to find a team. The top team.
It's been at Bayern Munich.
Yeah, on the loan, and Bayern Munich didn't extend his loan. So he has got good leadership skills.
Yeah.
But we know him as a toxic player.
Yeah.
And nowadays, at the moment, Arsenal has a very good team spirit, good vibes. And I don't think Arteta will risk bringing Joao Cancelo to ruin that atmosphere.
Let me see. Let's get a little bit into the comment section. We see what people are talking about. We've got, let me see. We've got this one, one of the people, what's he saying? It's not showing up, is it? I think it's a bad network. Anyway, I can see some people in the comment section. If you're in the comment section, please, you can always let us know. Between Declan Rice and Moises Caicedo, whom would you go for between the 2 football players? Me personally, I think, oh, it's already showed. We've got someone saying, let me see. Declan Rice is a good signing for the club, Arsenal. And let me see yet another one. What other people saying? Abdul Muhumza saying it's good. Then I can say powerful and
great and
Brian.
powerful.
Brian saying great and powerful, isn't he? Let's see what Brian is saying. A little bit of a bad network there. Somebody saying it's being confirmed. And let's wait and see what actually will happen. Let's wait and see what will happen what will go in there for the club Arsenal. Arsenal are definitely trying to make sure that they can sign the football player Declan Rice. Everything is falling in place for the club Arsenal right about now. Manchester United is a potential threat, isn't it? Manchester City is definitely down. But do you think he would be a good player at Manchester City?
Who?
Declan Rice.
He would be. I'm a huge Pep fan. I'm the Pep fan. So, and if player technically good, intelligent, so Pep is able to turn him just into unbelievable level.
But also you should put in consideration of a few things. So remember that some football players are bought, like Harry Maguire, was bought around £80 million, and he's now being sold at 35-40 million pound, And also another Manchester United football player goes by the name Jadon Sancho, was bought around 75 million pound and is being valued at something like 40 million pound, And it's a little bit challenging, isn't it?
Well, it is. It all depends because not every player can suit every manager, and some players can shine in a certain system. Like as we were talking about the Maguire before, because Leicester was playing very like low block defense. Is the like old school. For example, nowadays Harry Maguire is the like meme, everybody laughs at him, making like videos, funny videos. But if he plays in a Rio Ferdinand and John Terry time, he would be excellent player. But the thing is, football is changing now. You have to play. Modern football requires you to play as a high line defense.
Yeah. Then the other thing, Mikel Arteta's mode of play, it's a bit challenging. It's very challenging. Always when Arsenal has played. And I've watched Arsenal games like the last season. For some reason, I was thinking Arsenal is not going to win this game because they do not mind whoever they are playing, whether it's Newcastle, whether it's Manchester United or City or Liverpool. They just attack you. They play attacking football to the finest. They make sure they attack you, whether you're beating them or not. For some reason, at some point in time, I thought that would be deadly for the club, Arsenal. But they kept on improving every other day, and they managed to finish second. Second isn't bad, but there was a chance for the club, Arsenal, finishing in the first position. I don't know what definitely went wrong at the last minute, as many people said the football players were tired. But as a matter of fact, the mode of play, I don't know whether it's something that Mikel Arteta needs to look into, because sometimes, when you're playing a football club, you do not need to attack them. You need them to come. You make some good counter attacks, But it actually worked for them. It's a proper working formula for Arsenal, isn't it?
Right. I totally agree with you that this formula, this is formation, attacking style, don't implement every single game. But when we're talking about Premier League run, which consists of 38 games, for the long term, of course you have to stick to your style. Stick to your style, no matter who you play against, as you said, City or Southampton. You have to play attacking football and don't betray your principles. So, because always I believe that attacking football is getting reward anyway. You will be rewarded if you play attack. Of course, when you play like Jose Mourinho team against Jose Mourinho or Pochettino or Conte, you have to be extra cautious. Yeah. But still, you should play your way. Because I don't see Arsenal playing defensive or clever. Because once you lose your way, it's hard to succeed.
Okay, let's wait and see what will definitely go on with the club Arsenal. But Arsenal are definitely trying to make sure they can get things quite right with them, and a number of clubs are definitely also looking at getting a few football players for Arsenal. Is trying to make sure that they can get a big number of football players, and there's quite a big number of football players that has been linked to the club Arsenal. But Declan Rice has definitely been one of those football players that have definitely been linked, and he is in for a move to the club Arsenal. And yet the other one we've been talking about is none other than Moises Caicedo. But mainly we've been talking about Declan Rice, whom we are saying that Declan Rice, it's a deal that is definitely done. The fact that Manchester City came out and said, we are no longer in this transfer. Some people really interpreted it that Manchester City just had he just wanted to heighten the prices of the price of the football player. And once Declan Rice is definitely high, Arsenal can have limited chances of getting other football players because they've spent 105 million pounds. They're not going to have the money to spend another 100 million pounds or spend 50, because they've spent such. And Arsenal goes into this and puts in a bid. Manchester City. City goes in this bidding war and puts in a bid, well knowing that they are not going anywhere. They're definitely not going to get Declan Rice. They're not interested in Declan Rice. That's why even they say they're giving him 90 million pounds.
Well, I think it's a good conspiracy theory.
Mm-hmm.
It's worth to have a live, but I think big clubs as a City, I don't think they play this kind of games. Of course, Arsenal is the one of the competitors, after one of the contenders for the title, but not the only one. And I don't think they're first one. I don't think they're first contender for the title. Man City. I think again Liverpool is going to be back, and United may be even more danger. Also Pochettino. So I don't think Arteta will be contender, to be honest. Arsenal. I want them to be, but as I said, lack of experience. I think they need another 2-3 years to be fully ready to get the title.
Whom do you see taking the title next season?
Well, obviously, first team which comes to my mind is City. But as we know, no one before has won Premier League or in the highest division in England in a row. Nobody got it 4 times in a row. Maximum was 3 times. It was Liverpool. It was in Premier League. It was only Manchester United. Earlier was Liverpool and I think Preston. That's it. Only 3 teams.
Preston North End.
Yeah.
Preston has won Premier League.
No. I'm saying before English Premier League.
Oh.
I mean on Premier League only Manchester United. I mean before that. I mean the highest division of England.
I've got a friend who supports Preston North End. I think he will be happy when he hears that Preston North End as well as everyone the Premier League. But definitely it's not like that. So we're definitely going to be looking into Declan Rice and all this amount of money that is being put into this transfer. As I told you before, looking at this situation, I still believe there's a definite Manchester City went into this transfer well knowing that they're not going to win this transfer. They're not going to get Declan Rice. And that's why they put in 90 million pounds. Why would if it's not like that, why would Manchester City put in the same amount of money in a bid that Arsenal did? Arsenal said they are putting in 90 million. Arsenal had a bid of 90 million pounds. The second bid was 90 million pounds. And after that, Manchester City comes on and says, we're definitely going to be giving you 90 million pounds,
right.
15 million pounds, that's add-ons and stuff. But looking at that, really, it definitely, I want to think, and I think I'm right. Even though when you say Manchester City doesn't play games, when you see the competition that was in there towards the end of the season, I mean, Pep Guardiola was definitely right there on tenterhooks, was seeing the trophy going, Right. And right about now, the fact that Arsenal finishes second in the league, the fact that Arsenal finishes second in the league, that shows you that they have got quite a bit of money to spend, and the fact that Arsenal can spend 105 million pounds on a football player. That means that they're not going to get other big football players,
In this transfer window. No. That's going to be only one big signing. I mean, actually 2. The 75 million for Havertz.
Yeah.
So it's not a small amount of money. So
I don't think Kai Havertz will get to 75 million pounds.
Or 65. See, 65 or 75 for sure.
I think they are going to be quite good negotiations. It's been said that Kai Havertz has already signed the deal for Manchester Arsenal. He's already signed the deal for Arsenal. it's still not yet publicly announced, but by the information from different sources that we're getting, that he's already had a done deal, it's a deal that is done and dusted. But for some reasons, many people are not into this transfer. Don't know why. Why are many people not interested in the Kai Havertz transfer?
Because I think
Mm.
it was quite obvious that Chelsea wanted to get rid of it. Yeah, I mean not get rid of. Havertz is more. Havertz wanted to leave the Chelsea.
Yeah.
Because for how many years he playing for Chelsea, he couldn't find his position on the pitch, which like permanent position. He played attacking midfielder. He played false nine. He played classic number 9, but nothing went perfectly there. So, and he want to go there with the more systematical club, like under manager such as the Pep or Arteta or Klopp, who plays like who got the already settled system.
Yeah, let's hope that he will definitely perform at Arsenal.
Actually, saying about Havertz, what do you think? Which position he's going to play in Arsenal?
You know, I'm not very sure, but Havertz can play as an attacking midfielder. He can play as a striker.
But as a striker, I think Gabriel Jesus.
Yeah, they've got Gabriel Jesus.
Yeah, so they're playing. Arteta's favorite formation is 4-2-3-1. So one is in the final third is going to be Jesus. Then 2 wingers, Martinelli, Saka, and Odegaard as attacking midfielder, and the Xhaka and the Partey holding ones, right?
Yeah.
So, in my opinion, the right suitable place for Havertz is going to be Odegaard's place as attacking midfielder, and Odegaard will be playmaker from the back line, from the build-up, and with the Declan Rice. So Declan Rice is going to play like Xhaka's position, and Odegaard now is going to play for Thomas Partey's position, I think.
Okay, I think it's going to be a brilliant thing if those two football players end up at the club. Arsenal, 65. How much does Arsenal have to spend? Spending 65 million pound and then 105 million pound. I think their transfers are definitely narrowing. Arsenal transfers are narrowing, aren't they?
Yes. But also, I don't know about FFP rules since they're not going to pay directly that amount. It's going to, I don't know precisely the rule. It's going to be count as the 1 window or 5, because Arsenal is going to pay for the Declan Rice 5 different bank transfers.
Yeah, the mode of payment does not value with FFP rules. What they say you do not have to. Anyway, it's always as long as you sell few football players, you can buy a few football players, so you have to balance. But there is an amount of money that is set possibly for a certain club, for almost every club, that you do not have to go beyond.
Yeah, returning to a question, you asked me previously why Man City would make same bid as Arsenal. The difference is West Ham wanted their cash as soon as possible, in 2 bank transfers in 2 years, whilst Arsenal was offering in the 5 years. So City could pay same amount of money, but in quicker. Yeah, maybe that might be different as well.
Okay, it's been the Declan Rice transfer, and definitely things have been going on quite well for the club Arsenal as Declan Rice. We could definitely say that Declan Rice is one of those football players that are definitely going to end up at the club Arsenal.
Yeah, sorry, the people asking to respond to the comments. I think we need to have a look up.
Okay.
Just sorry, guys.
Okay, let's see. Let's get into the comment section. I prefer Moises Caicedo to Arsenal, and that is who's that? Who's that who prefers Moises Caicedo to Arsenal?
Giannis.
Yeah, and then I can see Austin Nelson saying. What's Austin Nelson saying? We are asking
you have the fee agreed. I think so, because I've recently read that Fabrizio Romano relied on his insights that the 100 plus 5 million, that's the fee.
And then I can see Mafabi saying when Arsenal scoop upon Rice's deal, it's gonna be a good signing. That's true. Oh yeah, I don't know why it wasn't coming on there. It's now coming, isn't it? Then let's see. Somebody saying he prefers Declan Rice to Moises Caicedo. A lot of people in the comment section. Anyway, I think it's time for us to sign out, isn't it?
Yeah.
And I think thank you very much for being part of the Arsenal chapter. Please subscribe and ring that notification bell so you do not miss out on whatever we've got to bring to you, as long as this post and as long as it is Arsenal related right about here at the Arsenal chapter. Any goodbye words?
Good. I hope first of all thank you for invitation to have a chat with you.
Yeah.
And also I have a big sympathy on Arsenal as well. I want to wish them good luck, and I want to wish them Declan Rice is going to give them good service for the long years.
Okay.
And be a real contender this incoming season.
Okay. Otherwise, please thank you and goodbye for now.
We're off now.
Let me get it off here.